Okay then guys, I'm at work and it's my lunch break-ish, and I thought let us do a bit of a quick, hopefully quick install of the wireless charging pad. Now I'm doing a very quick test first, because if my really big S23 Ultra doesn't charge on it, then it is pointless having it in the car. If it does, I'll work with it and I'll put it in. So let's see. First up, you've got to obviously, well, take anything out of the cigarette. I call it cigarette, but it's actually called 12 volt plug. So take anything out of that, and then obviously you're going to have to pull this entire assembly up, and that's done by lifting the trim up out of this. Easiest way to do that, however, is to actually put this into neutral, which can only be done with the key in the ignition. Just do that, and then it's going to go all annoying. And you just get your trim tool, I find, and do that. Done. Simple. And the whole assembly will come almost all the way up. What you want to do, shush. What you want to do, there is your connector under here for the strip on the indicator, as you can see there. So you just push in there on the tab on the side, on that, and that'll depress the clip. So once that's done, you can move the whole assembly up further, like so, and then you'll see you have two Torx, one here, one here. T20s. From what I can tell, most of the Volkswagen interior stuff is going to be a T20. Once that's done, you can pull, as you can see, the whole assembly up and up like so. Don't pull it all the way, because you've got a lot of connectors underneath. Well, you may not have as many, but I have quite a few, and I recommend disconnecting all of them. So parking sensors, these horrible sideways clips, which you can never get a lot of leverage on. There you go. Then DCC if you've got it, and then traction control. And the last one you're going to have is the 12 volt port. On this side. Once they're all out, you do have this cable holder here for the wiring harness. Almost tore my finger off with that. Okay, and then once that's done, you can pull the whole thing out. Right, so that's it. A little bit grimy, but there you go. So we'll put that down. Well, actually, we'll compare with this one. So you will lose a bit of the tray, you know, some of your space, but you may gain the added advantage of, well, wireless charging. So I'm going to go and plug it in and test it out. Okay, so quick test. I've just plugged it in, and it plugs into the existing 12 volt connector that would have gone to the cigarette port, and you get your lights. So I'm going to just put my phone on, which I can't show you right now because I'm using my phone, but if it works, then great stuff. Okay, it works. If I pull my phone off quickly, you can see it goes blue when you're connected and then red. So it does actually work. That is good news. So looks like, yeah, it does charge. So it looks like I'm using it. Cool. Now what I'm going to have to do next is obviously remove all of these and that and put them in here. To do this, you've got to remove this black sliding piece off first. Now it unclips. It's got these two grabbing pieces either side. Release them both, and it comes off. Yeah, so you get underneath and you see here, you've also got these tabs either side. Use a pry tool and literally pry it off. Just got these clips. So set that aside as well. Once that's done, you then basically want to pull the core out. So you just push the centerpiece through. There are some prongs inside. Other than that, the whole thing will come out together. Now this part was actually very difficult to get out. What people don't tell you, or what they will tell you, is just push the connector all the way out from the bottom and it will come out. But actually, if you look very closely on the sides, right there, you have these tabs, and these tabs locate in here, these holes on either side, and they stop it from coming out. So what a lot of people do when they force them, they break those plastic tabs on the ring, and this never sits in place after you're done, and then you end up having to buy a new ring. So make sure you get like a flat head on either side and just push them out. I literally could not record and do it, so it is tough, but once that's done, the port will come out as one whole piece. So that's one way to save yourself a couple quid. Once that's done, then you want to take out the flap, and basically you've got, as you can see here, these prongs either side. So you push them in. Again, very difficult with one hand. There we go. And the whole thing will pop out. It's a right pain, but when you've got two hands, it's much easier to do. And where are they? Yep. Those are those plastic tabs either side I'm on about. So there you go. And then obviously, if you don't want to use your ring afterwards, your flap, if you find it annoying, you can fold it up and then slide it off. But I like the cleanliness that you get with the flap, so I'm going to leave that. And then once that's done, obviously, this is basically finished. I need to take off, obviously. Oh, there's a scratch there. There's a scratch on my button. I need to use these buttons. I'm not using these two blanking plates though, because I'm going to be installing this. These are USB and USB-C ports that I can actually use to cover these blanks. So then I'll actually have everything completely utilized rather than having these random two blanking plates. So they also plug in using the wiring harness for the 12-volt plug. So I will connect this up first, and then off the back of that, I will then connect up the wireless charger. Obviously as well, I need to get out my original buttons. So these just use these metal prongs from underneath, and then you just push them through and they come out. You really just want to get a tool in underneath to really push them down, and then push the connector through and they come out. Okay, so they're all out now. And now this is completely unneeded, so I can leave that, and it's time to put this in. First we've got to put in the port. So these are now in. What they also fail to tell you is that if you want to keep your black plastic ring, this one, there's a small little pin here that stops it from just spinning round, and they don't put it in this one. So you have to cut a little notch out here for it to locate, like so. So you have to put that in yourself, unless you just want to run it without that, but I think it looks a bit ugly. Buttons are in now. Time to put in the last two, which are not going to be the blanking plates from this one. They're going to be these. As you can see, the USB-C has the rounded edge, which means it has to go in the corner here, and then the other one can go in the middle. Let's pushes inside like so. It's a very slightly different color, but face on you can't tell, but at angle you can see it's more of a gray than a black. Yeah, could be worse. Once again, just line it up and push it in place like so, and there you go. Very nice. I made that notch a little bit bigger. I don't have a file with me because I'm at work, and now it's time to install this piece. So we'll put the ring, I use the ring just to see how big I need to make that notch. Put the ring back on here, and then we'll install that, and then put the entire unit back together. Just be aware there is a flat spot at the top which corresponds with this flat spot here. Push it in, slide it down, make sure this notch is on the right, and it will fit nicely. There you go, all back in place. As you can see, yeah, back looks a bit messy, but that notch is there. Clips are all down, and now we can reinstall the main unit. These tabs also correspond to the slot in there, so the wider ones are on the top right, like so, and then push it all in. It will be tight, and just go all the way down. I need my other hand for that, but yeah, you get the picture, like so. Also, if you feel like your port is a bit loose, now is a good time to push your securing prongs inside a little bit further to get more grip. Then reattach the light like so, and then it has a cover clip which I have just misplaced. There it is, and that goes like so, like that. Right, so now it's completely done, and we just have to install it. I'm going to do a bit of cable management because I don't want this mess of wires everywhere, so we'll get to that in a second. This is my remote wire for my sub, which I am going to push out the way back there, and that cable there, and there we go. This is for my LED light, so I kind of need that here, like so. And now to connect up the extra wires to the main harness. It's going to be a bit of a daisy chain, which sounds a bit dodgy, and probably is, but it should be okay because it is fused, as you can see here. There's a fuse. Okay, so wiring is key, and basically you've got a split harness that comes off of the USB ports that goes down, connects into the main harness, and then comes up, which then connects into the wireless charger. So now I've cable tied, zip tied everything together. We'll stick it in there, behind there, connect up all the plugs for the buttons, and we're good to go. Now this does kind of look like a mess back here, but it's a happy mess. So now we can connect everything up and then push it down. I had to start the car because I was really concerned about battery, but it's in, and there you go. It literally took a fair bit of like pushing and shoving, but it is in there, and everything seems to be working. So yep, and all the lights match up with the same colors, so it's a nice kind of OEM style look. Screw it back together. Obviously reconnect the harness for the switch pack on the shifter. Make sure there's no trapped wires anywhere, and then just push it back down like so. There you have it, all nice and well OEM. Okay, so obviously I can't record with my phone, wireless on the pad, but if I get it on, see the indicator starts going boom. Ironically as well, it's fast wireless charging. So it is actually supporting fast wireless charging, which is amazing. And then in addition to that, we've also got the USB, which is also fast charging. So I'm really impressed with that, especially for, you know, something off of AliExpress. But so far I have no complaints at all. So yeah, it is all done. I'm very happy with that, and it's not really a hard install. It's a little bit, I'd say the hardest bit is a 12-volt connector, because if you don't know what you're doing, you will break it and then it's a long day. With that, we're done, and then the next video you'll probably see is when the car gets taken to Artec for stuff, which I've been a little bit quiet on, but it's exciting stuff, so yeah, stay tuned. Anyway, thanks again. If you like what you saw, you know what to do. And with that, have a good one.